Well, hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today with us for the Captivate Your Clients show. My name is Maruxa Murphy, and it is a pleasure to be your hostess today. I am very excited about this show. I have here with me Sarah Avant Stover of The Way of the Happy Woman, and you can actually see her website right here. And you know what? She has been someone I've gotten to know over the last year. She is, last week we talked with Linda Chalmers, who's a student in the mobile marketing course, beta course that I took, or that I taught last summer. And Sarah is actually another one. And I have to say, Sarah, for one thing, thank you so much for being here on the show today, because you've been someone that I've admired. I know we met in person at last year's Andrea J. Lee's Wealthy Thought Leader event, but to see your work and to see how much passion you put into your work, and to see, you are to me an example of someone that captivates your clients from a variety of ways, and really is able to connect with your community in a way that that draws the best out of them as well. And so for me, I have this admiration society for you and the work that you do. And anytime I can share you with the world, I try to do that. Now, for those that are wondering why she's here today, last week we talked about this idea of multiple access points, ways in which you can get your message out to the world in a way that captivates, in a way that engages, in a way that really builds up brand loyalty, and really, helps. One of the most important things about being in business, increase your sales. So that is really what we're going to be talking about, because what she did is, after she took this class with me last summer, she began to implement these what we call text prompts into her business and into the way she connects with her community. So I can't wait to be here with you, kind of hearing how it's working for her, and seeing how this information can impact your business as well. So Sarah, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me, and really thank you for those really kind words as well. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's all true, and it's definitely something that I think more women and men who love the women in their lives can begin to embrace. You have a really phenomenal message. So tell us a little bit more about this, if you don't mind. Tell us how you serve the world in a big way, and a little bit more about you as we get started.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, I wrote a book called The Way of the Happy Woman, and that came out 2 years ago in May. And it has, it's really taken off. It's created a worldwide community of women on this path of finding our deep inner happiness that is here regardless of circumstances in our lives. And my book is written according to the seasons. So the metaphor is to be at home with ourselves no matter what season of life we happen to be in, whether it's like the fullness of summer or like the deep, dark cold of the winter. And all of this came out of my own journey into womanhood that really started when I was 21. So that was 14 years ago. I'm 35 now. And I was anorexic. I was bulimic. I was an exercise addict. I was a perfectionist in every way, and I was like so looking for happiness and validation outside of myself, and I was miserable, and I was so confused about what it means to be a woman. And a diagnosis of the early stages of cervical cancer snapped me out of that. And randomly, right after that, I was offered a job to teach in Thailand, and I went there, lived there for 10 years, and that's where I really started to heal and really started to learn to understand what it means to be a woman in the deepest sense of the word, feeling it in every cell of my body, not just in my name or the clothes that I wear. And all those things that I learned are what I teach now in The Way of the Happy Woman.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and you've taken that your message into multiple formats. If we go from how you've engaged and reached to a global community. Can you tell us about how that's worked for you? Like, what are some of your favorite ways in which you have really expanded that message?
Sure. Well, I started out when I lived in Thailand. There, I had a lot of international students there, so that's really where I started working on the internet, so I could stay in connection with them. So I started with a newsletter, and I started with a newsletter once a season. And then once I moved here to Boulder, Colorado 5 years ago, I started a blog, and I started an email sign up list on the blog and started sending more regular emails. And then I started teaching online classes. And then I created an online membership program for women called the Red Tent, where we come and we do virtual retreats together.
So fun.
Yeah, and I do video classes, and I do live trainings and workshops. And then working with you last year, I started to incorporate the mobile marketing, or like the first stages of that. There's still a lot more I want to do with that, but I realized that, my phone, it's right here. It's like my little sparkles on the back, but it's like my phone is like one of my best friends. It's like such a sacred thing for me. I don't give out my phone number to very many people, and but I love sending text messages because I'm an introvert and I don't always I don't like to call people much unless I have to.
Yeah.
But I love sending little notes, and so it was really great to learn how I could incorporate that into my business too.
Yeah, and I have to say, as I mentioned already a little bit ago, I actually pulled up the notes on my phone. Let me see if I don't know if people can see it or not, but here's a couple different notes. There you go. You see that? So every morning I know that I can expect a note from you, and it will say, can I give folks how to just sign up on that?
Yeah, and it's every Monday morning.
Yeah,
so to start off the week.
Exactly. So every Monday morning I get. So if you text the word "happy woman," is that right? Happy woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy woman, all as one word, to 75309. You'll get her text. So, like for example, this week's was Happy Year of the Whitewater Snake. Time for beauty, intuition, and quiet stamina. Plus, you get to revisit your New Year's goals too. Hugs and kisses, Sarah. So it's like one of those uplifting kind of things. And sometimes you'll ask a question of us. So like last week's was, what are 3 minimum self-care requirements that you need to do this week so you can flourish? Love, Sarah. How beautiful. It's one wonderful way for us as people who are receiving this to know that someone is out there thinking and really spending time considering what is best for us. And that's what it feels like when you get this, in a sense, that love note, right, on text. Because for me, it's one of those things that you're right. I never give out my cell phone number, ever. It's a very sacred thing to me as well. But it's like even though, you and I haven't really even been able to speak since, the summer, I still get these updates from you, and it just reminds me every week of who you are, what you're about, and our audience can do the same thing too.
Yeah.
So
it's like I'm even signed up for my own text message. So it's like when I give presents to people, when I buy presents for people, I think, well, what kind of present would I want to get, and that's what I give, and it's the same with the text messages. So it's like they help me too to get them.
I love that. That's great. So what have you seen in terms of the benefits of using a weekly prompt to engage your audience? Like, have you gotten other feedback outside of me as your teacher in this process?
I have. Yeah. I get emails and Facebook posts from women just saying how much they love them and appreciate them. And I think it creates a sense of like kind of a girlfriend feeling. And because I do send longer emails and things, and those can be more serious in nature, and of course a lot longer, more information. And this, I feel like it keeps it really light and keeps it really just simple and to the point.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you finding that the text prompts are connecting to some of the other programs that you're offering? I know you have a program coming up actually the week that this show is airing, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about how do you see that this piece, this prompting, connects to the programs that you are actually selling and promoting on a regular
Yeah.
basis?
So, for example, this week when you all are watching this video, I'm just starting a month-long celebration of our menstrual cycles as women, and actually all cycles. I'm featuring women who are in menopause and postmenopause and perimenopause and pregnancy, and it's called iheartmymooncycle.com. And so, for instance, like this week, the text message I send out will be about cycles. And we'll bring awareness to cycles, and we'll even invite women to come over and check it out. So I try to weave in the flavor of whatever I'm up to into the text as well, without making them pushy or invasive, but just as an invitation.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like one of the recent text messages I sent out, I was down in Mexico teaching a women's yoga teacher training, and just mentioning I'm down in Mexico and I'm leading this training, and finding little ways to weave that in within a very short amount of space.
Yeah. But it was something to the effect of like, I'm thinking about you guys while I'm here, or something like that. And that really, it's those things. That's what I love to teach, Sarah, is that it's in those little moments, as you call them, like those love notes, those little spaces, intimate spaces, that you allow yourself as a company, as a business, to make that connection with an individual. As individuals, who get text messages and stuff like that, especially a lot of women, as you know, the statistic is right now the growing group of folks that are using text marketing are moms, women, because they're crazy busy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so that's like one of the highest, largest populations that are using it more than they are using their actual like phone, like getting on the phone and talking.
And that's why I was so drawn to it, because it's like I of course I'm using my phone a lot, but I didn't really click that all the women I'm trying to reach are on their phones all the time.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's really like it's important to see that, wow, if they feel like they're in a relationship with you, if they know that they can be in a more comfortable relationship type of conversation with you, which is how women think, it's what women want, then they're going to want to continue on in other ways with you in the future. And I have to say, it's the reason that I'm recommending people to you, because I get to see a different side of Sarah outside of just a newsletter, a more formal, thing that everyone teaches to do, right? Very cool. Very cool. Have you seen it? Have you seen these text prompts create more of like a higher stick rate, meaning, that they are more engaged with you, that they are wanting to buy your products or your services and membership, the Red Tent community, that sort of thing?
It's hard to tell what the exact correlations, but my business has tripled in the past year. And but I've been incorporating a lot of new things, and one of them is these consistent weekly text messages. So I think it's that whole just deepening the relationship on a consistent basis that has helped me to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you bring up a good point. You're now seen as everywhere, right? So the more places the more touch points that you have in your business. So if you're seen over text marketing and you're on video and you're in all these different spaces, well, then people see you everywhere, and it allows for that mindset shift of your customer to say, oh my gosh, I might need to get to know her because I see her everywhere. It's a really good and very valid point right there. Very cool. What do you see are some of the challenges that adding these text prompts have added to your business?
I don't think there's many challenges. I mean, it's just just at the very simple level, it's one more thing to do each week, but it takes me a minute. Yeah. Literally. Yeah, there's no other challenge. There's no other challenges. It's really easy.
Very cool. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's I have fun with it.
Yeah.
I would way rather write a little text message than a long email.
Yeah. Good point. That's a really good
Yeah.
point. So, do you have any tips or strategies for our viewers who may be interested in implementing this to what they should do, or what you would encourage them to try as a first step? As you mentioned, this is your first step into mobile marketing.
Yeah. Well, I found your course to be super helpful and just to open the door to this whole world that is not being taught about very much right now
Mm,
in marketing for entrepreneurs like ourselves. And I think it's super important and way ahead of the curve, or just like on the cusp of the curve. Um, and I didn't let myself get intimidated
mm,
and think like, oh my God, now there's all this other stuff to do. Like I'm already learning all this online stuff and now I have to learn all this mobile marketing stuff. But I was just like, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to just start with one thing that feels good for me.
yeah.
That feels like a good fit with my business model,
Yeah.
and just try it out. Just experiment. And yeah, just to dip my toes in the water.
Very cool. And
And
that,
it's so easy to get it set up.
yeah.
That's the other thing. And in your course, you had the little video tutorial on how to get it set up, and I had it set up within like 10 minutes.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's really great. That's really great. That's so helpful for me to hear. I know Linda last week was saying anyone, everyone should take the course. And I'll be honest, we have the beta course, and I haven't planned to release it as of yet, because I'm super pregnant and I'm thinking about that and taking a few weeks off for maternity. But I want to let folks know. I mean, if they are interested in this course, I would love. I mean, I'd be more than glad to bring it back to share what I've been studying for now over 2 years, and can support more of you guys to understanding how you can implement this, as Sarah has mentioned she's done, and Linda's has done as well, and the dozens of other students that we've had go through the course. So yeah, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, Sarah. I'm glad that was really supportive for you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. So as we close today, is there anything else that you want to share before we finish the interview today?
I think something just, we're doing this interview on Valentine's Day, and I call my texts love texts.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel feeling my heart very much. And just to affirm that this type of communication is a way that helps me to feel my heart more within my quote unquote marketing, but to really to really feel into, and I think you mentioned this also in the course, like to feel into each woman, like what moment is she going to be in when she receives this? Is she going to be in the waiting room at a hospital, getting out of bed, in a fight with one of her kids, or it's like, because the phones come with us everywhere in every moment, and so I just tap into that. It's like feeling all these women who are receiving these messages from me in really intimate everyday moments, and it just helps me to stay connected to that sense of love in this very virtual world and virtual way of doing business.
Yeah, I really appreciate you sharing that. I think we forget that often, and part of recognizing that we can captivate our audience is taking it out of getting ourselves outside of the mindset of everything is a formula, right? So if you do this and you do this and you do this, like X plus Y plus Z equals whatever, X, Y, Z, whatever, that's just it's dead, right? It feels kind of like bleh, yucky. But when you actually think of the people that you're serving, you make a humongous impact on how that energy that they feel on the other end, whether it's through a text, or an email or a video or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. I really love that you brought that up. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate you. I so love what you're doing, and I invite everyone to check you out and see what you're up to and how they can be served by the way you share your message. So thank you for your time, and for folks, again, her website is right here, sarahavancstover.com, yeah. I know she would love to connect with you, right?
I would, yeah.
Awesome.
I'd love to send you a text too on Monday mornings.
Yeah, so Happy Woman, all one word, at 75309. Thank you, Sarah. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Yeah. Thanks, Maruxa. You too. Blessings to you on your new baby
Thank
coming
you.
into the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Talk with you soon. Bye.
Bye.